So, this is my mother. Mom, you lived in many different places as a child. How would you say that changed your childhood and how that still changes how you live today?
hmm Um, well, I think first of all, as a kid, I didn't feel like I had any choice, and maybe no kid feels that way, but it was really hard to move. But on the other hand, there were some aspects of it that were, you know, like very enriching because, as you know, I lived in 4 foreign countries and 22 places, not 22 places, but 22 homes altogether. So a couple of things that are different, because I know you're interested in this, from your childhood is you've lived in the same place the whole time, and you also just lived in two houses. So I guess I could turn the tables and say, imagine if you got to live in a lot of different types of houses. Like
Mm-hmm.
the the negative part is that we had to move all the time, but the positive is that we had a lot of different experiences.
Mm-hmm. And you said you lived in 22 different houses in 4 foreign countries. How many in the U.S.? How many different places?
Then I lived in, let me think, three places in Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
and Utah, Maryland, Maine. So probably like 6 or 7 places in the United States. Because then I
Okay.
went to college in Colorado and out in Maryland.
Mm-hmm. So did you live in Maryland with your family or just
No,
college?
yeah. So I remember
Okay.
thinking that Maryland was like the first place that I picked to live in myself because I
Mm-hmm.
chose to go to college there.
Okay. So it seemed like you had mixed feelings too about moving. Like, how did you embrace that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was, I would say there was a lot of my childhood that was pretty lonely. But on the other hand, I was able to be very independent.
Mm-hmm.
So, because there was public transportation everywhere I lived, like I could go 2 blocks from my house, and gosh, let me think, because we started living overseas when I was 12, so I could go places. So, in a way, I feel like now that I'm a grown up, it's made me really independent and very confident because I had to do I had to find my way.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, um, and how long would you say, like, what was the place you stayed in the longest?
We stayed in Taiwan the longest, so I had 3 years of high school. And every other place, we were just there for 2 years.
Alright. And you moved a lot because your dad worked on dams, right?
Right, so he worked on if a country needed international expertise on how to build a dam. That's why we lived in other. So we usually went to third world countries because they didn't have
Mm-hmm.
engineers that were educated. Now they do, but at that time they didn't.
Um, and how was it like, because my friends I've had for a while, and you had to make new friends like every 2 years. How was that?
Yeah, that was very hard, and I'm sure that I was very dramatic about it with my parents. Made sure that they knew that it was hard, and I think harder, not to be stereotypical, but I think for my brothers, they kind of moved to the next place and they tended to play sports, so they met kids easily.